Hello, thank you for joining us today on the Profit Scale Thrive podcast, where we guide attorneys to overflowing profits, scaled growth, and thriving lives. I am your host, Kelly Brubaker. We have a secret though. This is a special place because we don't work with every law firm owner. We support the solo attorneys who are also single parents because we know the special challenges you face, and we know the business advice out there is not always practical for you and your firm. Each week, we will talk about things that will give you the insight you need to stop feeling overwhelmed, to gain back your confidence, and to finally enjoy your law firm and your life again. Hello, and thanks for joining me today for podcast episode number 5. Welcome back, or for those who don't know me yet, my name is Kelly Brubaker. I'm a CPA and a business coach who supports solo attorneys who are single parents. I'm also a certified Profit First professional, which means I help my clients implement the cash management system presented in the book Profit First, written by Mike Michalowicz. Today is the start of a series of episodes about the book Profit First. If you've never read the book, you will want to subscribe now and keep up with the next few episodes. My goal is to keep each podcast episode under 20 minutes, so I'm not sure how many episodes it's going to take, but let's tackle the book chapter by chapter. And where else to start but the introduction? Profit First, written by Mike Michalowicz, was first published in 2014. Since then, it's been translated into several languages for readers around the world, and last estimates were that over 600,000 businesses are benefiting from this cash management method worldwide. If you are tired of surviving check to check in your business, it's time to give Profit First a try because it does not try to fix you. It's a system designed to work with who you already are. Don't fix you, fix your system. So chapter 1, your business is an out of control cash eating monster. My story is similar to Mike's, and I'm guessing that many people can relate. Mike's inspiration for writing Profit First starts after creating, building, and selling 2 multi-million-dollar businesses. Okay, for real, this part isn't part of my story, but now going forward is. So his frugal soul was overtaken by ego when he went from rich to the verge of bankruptcy in the blink of an eye. The scene from Top Gun pops into my head every time I read Mike's story.
Maverick, you just did an incredibly brave thing. What you should have done was land your plane. You don't own that plane, the taxpayers do. Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash. You've been busted. You lost your qualifications as section leader 3 times. Put in hack twice by me. With a history of high-speed passes over 5 air-controlled towers and 1 admiral's daughter. Penny Benjamin. And you, asshole, you're lucky to be here. Thank you.
And I still get teary-eyed when Mike explains how he told his wife and kids about how he put them in financial jeopardy. It was Valentine's Day, and his then 9-year-old daughter ran to her room to grab for Mike her cherished piggy bank to save him. Without enough money, we cannot offer our services to the world. We can't help those who need us the most. An empty bank account is kryptonite to your business. Most business owners are led to half-truths from ancient accounting rules and reports. Increase your sales, you'll end the year with a profit. But that's wrong. Money problems will happen when one of 2 things happen. Either first, your revenue slows down, either a large case settles or a big client leaves or goes out of business. Now you don't have enough money to pay your bills. Or second, your workload increases, and this one's actually worse. Big deposits rolling in feels amazing, but they're irregular, and all too often it can trick you into believing your business is on a permanent upswing. This convinces you to loosen your checkbook a bit, and you start spending like this new revenue is your new normal. Unfortunately, a break in the incoming cash becomes quickly and unexpectedly causing a major gap in cash flow. Many of us start to steal from Peter to pay Paul, hoping the crunch is temporary. And by now, our new lifestyle at work and home is so enjoyable, it's hard to consider getting rid of your new car, laying off an employee because you're overstaffed, or letting go of your country club membership. While every entrepreneur and business leader strives to grow to combat cash flow issues, bigger is not better. And Mike has a great analogy for this. Look around at the gym. Have you ever seen the guy with massive arms and chest but toothpick legs? It's the same for businesses. Focusing on one part of your business is not healthy for the company as a whole. The faulty assumption here is that at a certain point, all revenue will yield a profit. So, all of this is to say that profit must be planned for and baked into your business every day, every transaction, every moment. Profit is not an event, profit is a habit. So, Mike shares a quote I had only partially heard before: revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, and cash is king. And ultimately, I hope your goal is to have a financially healthy and sustainable firm. If so, all it takes is to reverse engineer your profit. Determine what you need your profit to be. Add to that your expenses, and you'll know what your revenue needs to be. Work your profit and loss statement backwards. And if you're like me, most business owners look every morning at your online bank balance. If you see a big balance, you're excited, you pay the bills that have piled up, and the balance goes to zero really quick, right? But Profit First curbs the situation by using multiple bank accounts, each one designated for a specific purpose. In essence, each bank account becomes a living budget, if you will. When you log in and you see your balances, you know that you only have $10,000 for operating expenses because you've already placed the $25,000 aside for your payroll that's due on Friday. But if you only had one bank account, you would see $35,000 in the bank and may too easily forget about your upcoming payroll that has not yet been taken out of your bank account. An easier way to explain Profit First is something my mom did when I was growing up that maybe you experienced too: the envelope method. Every payday, dad cashed his paycheck and gave mom the money she needed to run the house: groceries, clothes, home goods, etc. Mom never ran out to buy a microwave because she wanted one. She created an envelope and placed a few bucks in it every payday. When she finally had enough cash, she waited until it was on sale and then bought it. While we can't always wait to buy things when they're on sale, I hope you get my point. Each bank account is your functional budget. Cash goes in when you collect money, and payments are made from the designated accounts. The money was budgeted and spent as intended. Let's shift gears for a second. Let's talk about the survival trap. What I've seen so often with companies that struggle with cash flow is they fall into the survival trap to try to balance out cash flow peaks and valleys. And it goes like this: a residential landscaper makes great money in the spring and summer, but struggles in the fall going into the winter. So this year going into the fall, he thinks, I'm already doing fall cleanup projects. Why not add additional services to my existing clients? I can clean gutters, and since I'm already on the roof, there's shingles that need to be replaced, and oh, the chimney needs some loving too. I mean, he's already at the property, right? So why not? While it may seem like a golden opportunity to increase his per customer revenue, is the cost worth it? I mean, to get on the roof, he now needs a ladder and a vehicle large enough to carry a ladder. And now he needs shingles, and the chimney are going to require raw materials that he doesn't normally buy or have on hand. Most likely, climbing up on the roof will change his workers' compensation risk rating for an increase in workers' comp coverage. And I haven't even mentioned the skills part. He may need additional training to do the new work correctly and competently. So the survival trap promises quick money, but after we're in it, we realize the increased costs far outweigh the easy money. It's deceptive to lead us to believe that we are working towards our goal of financial freedom. The survival trap may buy you time, but the cash flow monster will continue to grow. Sustained profitability depends on efficiency, and you can't be efficient in a crisis. In a crisis, we justify making money at any cost right now, even if it means skipping taxes or selling our souls. Well, I mentioned a few minutes ago about having $35,000 in the bank and paying all the bills, but forgetting about your $25,000 payroll coming up. This was simplistic. I didn't even mention saving for your taxes or your distributions. All of these are reasons that focusing on top line revenue is so flawed. Forget about your profit and loss statement that reads revenue first minus expenses leaves you with a profit. Start managing your profit and loss statement backwards. Generally accepted accounting principles or GAAP does not work for small businesses. And I'm a CPA telling you this. The fatal problem is that GAAP allows a business to have a net loss. It's simply a report, which net losses are possible, but it's not sustainable. The reason for this is because no matter how much income we create, we want to spend it all. And with the primacy effect, which we'll talk about next week, GAAP leads us to focus on revenue first, then expenses, leaving us blind to our profit. Remember, what gets measured gets done. GAAP was never intended to manage cash, yet GAAP reports are what every business owner knows and uses. It's time for a change in your mindset and systems. Profit first is the answer. So Mike makes an offer in the book for readers to get accountability. And I'm going to make the same offer to you. Send me an email right now to podcast@profitscalethrive.com with the subject line profit. Tell me that you will do what it takes to finally become permanently profitable. Commit and email me. Let's do this. So we're going to break here on our profit first journey for today, but come back next week for our next installment. Today's question is from Brady, and I almost read that as Tom Brady, which would be super exciting, but it's from Brady. I just opened my practice. When should I start profit first? Now, Brady, do not think about it. Start today. You will thank yourself a year from now. The reason is the sooner you start, the sooner you will master your cash and force your firm to run efficiently. Just do it. Thanks, Brady, for your question. If you would like to submit a question for a future episode, please send me an email to podcast@profitscalethrive.com. And no, by sending an email, you will not get added to an email distribution list. There will not be a phone call and there will not be a sales pitch. We follow the golden rule, treat others how you wish to be treated. Today's quote is from Bo Bennett. A dream becomes a goal when action is taken toward its achievement. Today's final thoughts. I hope you learned something new about Profit First today and you return next week for the next installment. I'm excited to introduce you to the book and show the benefits to your firm. While I made it sound easy to reverse engineer your finances, I do have a worksheet that does the calculations for you. Head on over to my website at profitscalethrive.com, and near the bottom of every page is a box that starts with, if your billable rate is not right for your financial situation, your firm will never be profitable. Enter your email in the box and you will get the calculator immediately. If you have any questions about today's episode, please feel free to comment if you're watching YouTube or send me an email at podcast@profitscalethrive.com. If you know someone who might need to hear this information, please share this episode with them, or if you're on YouTube, tag them below. Be sure to follow and subscribe to get notifications for future episodes. Did you enjoy this episode? Please consider leaving us a review. And before I go, remember, profit is something you intentionally plan for in the beginning. It is not a potential bonus at the end of the year. Thanks and have an amazing day.